Hey Collective, it's Anne Marie. I hope all of you are doing well. I just completed a video regarding unbinding, unbinding inner chains and face what we've been avoiding. And all of a sudden, however, one thing I work through as a reader and a channeler is that I have this thing where I want to make sure people see me shuffle the cards. And when I record, I don't like to really edit that much, just because I want it. I want to be, show up as my authentic self and my little tics that I have and how things go. I want it all to be recorded, and I rarely, edit. Every now and then I'll edit some words out, or I keep saying too much or whatever, right? And I'm working through that because sometimes I need to pause so I can actually think about the message and truly channel what the divine, what the universe, what my ancestors and my spirit team are trying to communicate to me, and then unravel it, because sometimes it's just in visions and pictures and weird ways. And if you're a reader, you understand what I'm saying. And having to hurry up and undo that within 10 minutes and give the message, right? So I'm personally working through that. I'm probably going to start just doing my videos on YouTube so I can do longer videos, because some people don't like to see the process, but I like to rewatch my videos and see the process, because then I pick up other things. So with that being said, I felt as though there was still more to the message, because a lot of people understand that they have fears in their life, and a lot of people may also realize that those fears are keeping them binded in chains. And so after I watched the video, I said, I just want to pull some more cards and see if I'm missing anything. So if you didn't see the first video, I'm not gonna redo the whole video or tell you about it, but this was the card we got about unbinding our inner chains, and this was the card about face what you've been avoiding. Okay, so I continued to shuffle from the same deck, and I got 3 cards popped out, and I just wanted to share and see if anything else comes up. A lot of times, like I said, people understand the chains that bind them, but it can be difficult to undo things, especially if it's generational, especially if you've been bound by certain chains, limiting beliefs, or whatever it is for many, many years. It's easy for someone to get on here, or anybody, and say, you do A, B, C, and D, and it's going to work. Everything's going to be perfect, right? I never say that, because that's not how it really happens, right? So anyway, the other cards that came out, and this is why I'm doing this video, because these 3 cards, I was like, I think there's something else here, so just stick with me here. One of them was let go of judgment. Judging others only keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace compassion and release judgment. What I picked up from this card was judging yourself. So this is judgment and criticism. And that's what I got from this, from judging yourself. And then also break in. What was interesting that this card came out, excuse me, I apologize. What came out was, and what I said a couple times in the first video, was breaking self-limiting beliefs. The only limits are the ones you impose. Break free from outdated beliefs and unlock your true potential. The message I was getting from the first reading was that there were some false beliefs, some self-limiting beliefs that were part of this chain, that were a piece, one of the links, many links actually, in the chain that is keeping you bound, that is based on you avoiding dealing with some type of fear, like avoiding some things. So, and this is breaking self-limiting beliefs, not good enough, too late, no one cares, things like that. And that may be some of the self-limiting beliefs that's keeping you possibly avoiding these chains, and avoiding facing this fear, like this guy looking under the blanket, like he's like terrified, like, man, I don't want to look under this blanket, right? Some of those, there may be self-limiting beliefs that are creating these chains that then create you to have this fear. I don't know why this has to be so wordy, Spirit. It's just the way it is, but it's still, but what you're not willing to face is still controlling you. And it was about giving control and power over the things. And then the last card, I'm sorry, did I show you? I can't remember if I showed you this one. I love this, because it's breaking out of this, and there's still like this beautiful plant that's growing, right? And this one is stop carrying what isn't yours. You've taken on emotions, guilt, and weight that were never yours. Give it back. Be free. I love this card. And so this is why I started doing the reading again. So it's really looking at these self-limiting beliefs. In the first reading, I gave the example, and I know I'm going to catch hell for it, but I don't give a shit. because it's true. A lot of people have, what it doesn't have to be the Bible. It could be any type of dogma or organized type of thought, cult thinking, if you will, that keep them in these self-limiting beliefs. And I know I'm going to catch hell for saying this too, but I don't care. If all you have read is, example, the Bible, we can't have a conversation about religion and spirituality, because read the Quran, read the Emerald Tablets, read a bunch of different texts, and then we can have an open conversation about whatever it is, right? So a limiting belief may be, and it may be the limiting beliefs around people around you, but it's certain, that's just an example, but certain things that are keeping you're limiting yourself. I keep repeating it, Spirit, show me. Why is that? Someone can't break free out of these self-limiting beliefs, because some of these limited beliefs you have, and and if you've watched me for any amount of time, very rarely, it was 6:06 on the time then. Oh my God, that's what it is. This is about religion, Christianity, Bible, or whatever. Maybe you grew up in some type of religious home. It doesn't have to be Christianity, okay? But this, and I said emerald tablets. These almost look like tablets here. So maybe that's the root of it, is the self-limiting beliefs. Maybe you were raised to believe a certain thing, and that you fear of judgment of other people by facing this fear or judging yourself. I really shouldn't confront this person or whatever it is, right? This is also a lot here, and if you're a recovering Catholic like I am, you really carry the weight of all kinds of things that aren't really yours, and there's so much judgment and weight. I should say all religions, but I've been quite a few of them. I've actively engaged a lot of them throughout my years. Hell, I went to religious college. So some of the self-limiting beliefs may be extra weight that you're carrying that's keeping you bound in these chains. I'm not strongly seeing that it's a person. This is something like a dogma or something that you were conditioned to believe in your life. And maybe that's why you're not. The phone froze at 7:34. And when I tell you it's taking me 2 hours to do these videos, all kinds of stuff is happening with my TikTok app, and I've already had to uninstall it this past weekend and reinstall it. So I think it's very interesting that all of this is happening. And readers talk about this all the time, so it cracks me up when it happens to me. The phone's freezing, and I can't remember where the other video cut off because I didn't want to lose the message. And I did. Maybe there was something that you were conditioned to believe. It doesn't have to necessarily be a person, but a limiting belief of how you were raised. It could be your culture. It's not going to be religious, okay? So take what resonates. That this whatever this dogma was, whatever this programming, if you will, if you've been programmed, whatever this programming has really possibly created like a fear of not facing something in your life. Fear of the judgment as well. And this has created these chains that have bound you. These chains have become part of your skin, like I said in the previous message. And it's like carrying the weight of generation after generation of generation, carrying the guilt, carrying the shame that isn't for you to carry. And this possibly could also be the fear that you've been, I have to look at the times. I'm not going to make a third video. What you're not willing to face will still control you. And so that's what the main message that I was getting from the universe and my spirit team was, that you possibly could still be being controlled by this fear, but it's based on like this limiting belief that isn't really, I don't want to say it's not truth, because what is truth, right? Perception is everything. So anyway, that's the message. I wanted to continue that. Is there anything else? A lot about carrying the weight, letting go of the judgment, judging yourself and worrying about what other people. But this is all about unbinding yourself and facing what you've been avoiding. What you've been avoiding, the fear that has come with it, it's magnified now because it's just been ruminating. And we give so much power and control over to our fears when we just don't face them head on. Message 222 on the timestamp. I hope you're healthy and happy, full of joy. I truly do. If you want a personal reading, email me at sagingofthesoul@gmail.com. Have a great night.